Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths. I'm going to start us off with some affirmations here. I dedicate this reading to all of our healers, tarot readers, light workers, to the ones who are purposefully driven to do the work that they are meant to do, and how dedicated and loyal are you to it. This reading is for you. I do believe that for us healers and for us light workers, how hard it has been keeping ourselves centered in the middle of it all, in the middle of the chaos, in the middle of the noise. Just like that noise you're hearing in the background. It never stops, right? Just like the siren you're hearing in the background, it never stops, yo. Dang. But I suppose that we need you. We need you, because you are one to set the tone. I am strong, I am capable, I am possible, setting the tone in the present moment, setting the tone when you walk into a room, setting the tone when you are about to step into a room. You were meant to be in that room, and perhaps while you are watching this video and you found this video, I am reminded to tell you that you are setting a tone in this world. Dogs agree. Some of us were led to do this kind of work because something in your past had motivated you. I do believe that for a lot of our healers today, for our light workers today, some of us, something had happened to us in the past, for some very traumatic. I do believe that most of our counselors, therapists, healers, light workers, tarot readers, something had happened to you in the past, a very traumatic event that had motivated you to do this kind of work today. I too went through a very traumatic experience in my childhood that perhaps led me to do such work as a tarot reader, but perhaps for some of us, we were chosen to also do this kind of work for an even bigger reason. This tea is so good. It's so good. You told yourself, I want to be useful. I want to be purposeful. I want to be possible. And I want something in my life to be as consistent, and would like it to be consistent, and would like to do it for the good of others as well, and to be of service of others as well, because you know what it's like to be in pain. You know what it's like to have nothing, to feel nothing, and whatever trauma that you had experienced in your lifetime, in your childhood, in your past, this is perhaps what led you to do this kind of work. Perhaps you felt insignificant at one point, and in your childhood, did you feel insignificant? And then one day you told yourself, I do not want to be insignificant anymore. One day you woke up and you said, things are going to change, and I'm going to change, and I am willing to change. Please help me. And it starts within yourself, because nobody is going to step in and help you. And when we open up to that, when we wake up to that thought of nobody's going to step in and help you, you're going to do whatever it takes, especially when you carry such a big heart. Especially when you know you're such an empath. I believe I too am speaking to our empaths. You are, in fact, limitless, and you are purposeful and useful for this world. And maybe ever since you were a little kid, you've always known this to be true about yourself. And here you are, making a difference, making an impact to the world. I do believe that our tarot readers as well makes difference and makes an impact. Now, there are tarot readers out here that I truly, truly believe that is making a difference and is using their work to do good and only do good and be of service to do good, to be purposeful in their work, to be purposeful in the work that they do. I want to believe that all tarot readers are, okay? You have kept yourself true this whole time, and having to be of service to your people and having to be of service to your peers. And for some of us, you knew you had a big mind. I have some cards laid out here and I'm looking at them. I have the Star, the High Priestess, the Queen of Swords, and then I clarified it all three with the Three of Pentacles. And I do believe that this Three of Pentacles is telling me that you are exactly where you are supposed to be with the work that you're doing, because of the inner work that you have done and staying true to your inner work and staying true to yourself in it. These affirmations won't come out. Whatever it was that you experienced in your past really motivated you and pushed you to do this kind of work. I want to tell you guys that my healing journey started in the year 2018. I remember I had just got out of a really unhealthy relationship. I lost my job. I lost my car. I lost a home. Pretty much got kicked out. I didn't have money to pay them, my rent. It almost felt like everything was just happening to me, one thing after another, and hit rock bottom. It was one of those moments where you kind of just have to, like, you know, take it all in and understand why it is all happening. I do believe that everything has a reason. Whatever circumstance that you're in today, you had done something about it or you did not do anything about it. And wherever we are with ourselves in this very moment is exactly where you should be because of what you did. And I got knocked out. The universe pretty much taught me a very big lesson. And what it taught me also is to appreciate the little things in life, to appreciate the simplest things in life that we don't appreciate enough these days. And I also believe that a lot of our healers and light workers have experienced this in their lifetime, and literally starting from nothing and then moving your way up to something. How does one actually really appreciate life for what it actually is, fully and complete, without knowing yourself to have nothing? 11:11 when I said that. And let me tell you how much I have learned so much about myself, and had gotten to know more about myself, and not just like in a physical aspect, and not just in a mental aspect, or even an emotional aspect, but in the spiritual aspect of it all. How much it has taught me to, yes, one, appreciate the simplest things in life, but also really taught me how the world actually is structured, and how the system is programmed, and how we are also programmed ourselves. Back then, when I had lost everything, I was in really bad shape, mentally, emotionally. Where I was mentally, I don't even know where I was, just completely unaware of my environment, completely unaware of where I was with myself. No sense of direction, no sense of purpose, no self-awareness. I hit rock bottom. I experienced severe depression. I was in anxiety, and so much of it. I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 and was prescribed prescriptions that I did not want to take anymore and depend on anymore. I do remember taking them for a couple months, and then I just looked at all of them, and there were several of them that was given to me, and I just looked at all of them and I was like, this is not the life that I want to live. It may be the life and the option that I'm given, but I know in that moment, I told myself, I know that there's more than this. I told myself, I know that there is more than just a life that is so small and limited. I used to, when I was going through depression, I would look at people, like happy people, I would look at them and I'd be like, how do they do that? You know, how do these people look so happy, effortlessly, so effortlessly? What do they actually do? You know, and then I thought, if they can look like that, how do you look like that? Because I most definitely can look like that, right? If that person can look like that, I know I can look like that. That's what I would think to myself. The card that came up, your body always reflects consciousness. That's the first card that came up. In my center is my awareness. Okay. and how long it had taken me to get to this point of coming back to centering myself. Okay. And giving that balance and gaining that balance for myself. Had I lost everything at that time, I said, if that person can look like that, I most definitely can do that for myself. Granted, it had taken me forever to get to that point of being happy. And having that inner peace, having that inner happiness. It isn't the happiness that you get from people and that people give you. It is the inner happiness and the inner peace that you give to yourself. And I would say, how do you get to that point? I want to get there. I did my research. How do I get myself out of this depression? And at first, my goal was to just get me out of the depression. All I wanted was to just be out of my depression. All I wanted was to just be out of the dark. All I wanted was to just be out of what felt like super uneasy in my body and my system. How do I get myself out of this uncomfortable feeling that I'm in? I went through abandonment in my childhood. I went through neglect, emotional neglect in my childhood. And it had led me to that point of hitting rock bottom, being so severely depressed that I didn't even know who I was. I had no sense of direction, no sense of purpose. I had no confidence in myself, and not even confidence in where I was going with myself. No confidence in the work that I was doing. And I was one of those people who would go from like job to job, right? One job to another, and I did not like any of it. I'd walk out after like 2 weeks. I would leave after a couple months. I would literally go from job to job to job to job to job. And none of it satisfied me, because I knew that I was meant to do something even more meaningful and purposeful and useful to not to just me, but for us. I suppose that is also how I'm wired to think and how I'm wired to be. I kept myself loyal to the path that it was leading me up to after I hit rock bottom. And from then on, from that point of hitting rock bottom, I told myself that if I'm going to heal, and if I'm going to choose to heal, if I'm going to choose to face this whole thing, that I'm going to face it head on, and I'm going to feel it all if I need to. I dedicated my time and my energy in healing. I knew also at that point that if I dedicated my time in healing and I dedicated my time in just bettering myself, that I knew I was going to lose people. And I knew that was going to be family members. I knew that I was going to lose friends. I knew that I was going to lose everything. Whatever spirit wanted whatever spirit wanted is exactly what I had to accept, because healing is not pretty. Healing is not the easiest thing to go through. But choosing healing is also the best thing that you could do for yourself. The most rewarding thing that you could do for yourself. And I also knew that here's what it taught me though. In losing everything, are you also gaining? Perhaps what you lost wasn't meant for you in the first place, right? Perhaps what you had lost, what I had lost, was not meant for you in the first place. And that for some of us, when we hit rock bottom, that was just the end of a chapter. And is opening us up to a new chapter that is even better. We hit rock bottom and we think that this is what life is and that's all what life is and my life is over. Perhaps that needed to happen for us to get up, wake up, and be more enlightened. How much was I so much more enlightened when I hit rock bottom? It's so crazy to think about, and just to go back to that time, that was back in 2018. Oh my gosh, at that time when I was in that relationship, I thought, oh my God, no. Oh my God, no, I cannot lose him. I need him. I did not need him. No, I did not need him. Oh my God, no, this is the end of my life. What do I do? No, that was not the end of me. That was not the end of me. It was just the beginning. How crazy, looking back on that. You know, when you look back at something in your past, you just kind of laugh about it. Because you're like, I thought this was the end of me. No, that actually was not. That could have just been the end of it all so that you can step into a new life that is supposed to be for you and for you only. For every new step I take, my body follows. You are constantly advancing into new regions of the soul. And how much I have become so much more aware and centered in my body has gotten to know so much more of my awareness at that time of healing. And since my healing journey started in 2018, beginning of 2019, I believe, was I renewed in mind and spirit. And so many of the people back then that I surrounded myself with, oh my God, 2222 on the timestamp, looked at me like, in the process of enlightenment, when you go through the process of enlightenment, people are going to look at you crazy. Not a lot of people are also going to agree with the path that you're taking, right? And you're going to experience that. And I'm sure like some of you guys have experienced that. A lot of you have had experience, people looking at you all weird, like, are you okay? You know, because for some reason, when you are enlightened, you look so unfamiliar from the rest. When you are in the process of enlightenment, when you are becoming, if you will, and stepping into your light, are people looking at you from the outside going, are you okay? You don't look too good. Are you sure you're okay? And the whole purpose of it all, the whole reason why they're looking at you as such is because you are not familiar to them. Because I do believe that society has shaped and has conditioned us to think not of light and to think not of enlightenment, but to think out of fear. So when you are in the process of enlightenment, you're bright. You're just like giddy, happy. You're finding yourself. You're starting to find your purpose. You're starting to find your strength, your inner strength. You're starting to find yourself even more. So of course, everyone's going to look at you different. You stand out. Your aura is different. It is so unfamiliar to the rest because what is familiar is not perhaps of any good. The world that we see isn't the world that we think it is, if I'm making any sense. And it actually isn't the world that we know it to be. It actually isn't what reality is actually not what it is supposed to be. It's all an illusion, really. Detach yourself from negative influences. And as you do that and you choose your own path and you choose to step into your authentic path, are you going to be looked at as crazy? Oh, I cannot believe this person. I was called crazy for being a tarot reader. I was, by a family member, was called a crazy because I read tarot. And that is to be expected, I suppose. And for a lot of our tarot readers today, I'm sure that has happened to you and you have experienced that once or twice or thrice, you know, many times. But what is so amazing about that and what is so beautiful about that is that you still choose to do it for the purpose of being of service and for also following the path that you are on. What is so beautiful about tarot readers and healers and light workers is that even though they are being called crazy, even though they are being called unusual, odd, the odd one out, even though you guys are being called, you know, all kinds of names, you still remain faithful. You still remain loyal to the work that you are doing because it is the work that you know you're supposed to do and suppose that you are wired to do such a work. That is what is so beautiful about that, is that even if the world looks at you as such, you still remain loyal to the work that you're doing. And you pursue to do that. And you continue to believe that the work that you are doing is meant to be. The work that you're doing has its purpose. You aren't doing it for no reason. You know that you're doing it for an even bigger reason. And perhaps we need you. You have dropped everything in your life to do such work because you know it's got a deeper meaning, it's got a deeper purpose, and it all essentially serves the rest of us. And that is also what's hard, I believe. Like it's hard for light workers and healers too, because if you think about it, we are dedicating our time and our energy and having to be of service to other people who are in need of help. And you are dropping everything in your life to do such work. And that's hard and very challenging for our light workers and our healers. Because it means it consists a lot of strict discipline on our part. We are asked to do an assignment and we cannot disobey. No, that is not an option and is never an option. Perhaps you were chosen to do such work, to be of service to this world because we need you. And you being so loyal and dedicated to that work. We appreciate you. I believe we need leaders like that. I believe we need more leaders like that. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Humor. You have dedicated your time, you have dedicated your energy to this work, and how pleased you are and passionate you've become in doing so. You know, when you are doing work that you don't even feel like you're doing work, you're just doing it because you find fun in it and because you're passionate about it and because it's what you love to do. At the same time, are you also being of service to other people while you're doing that? that is work and play and intersecting, work and play coming together, and it's serving its purpose, I can release my need to control, surrender. Sometimes the best thing to do is to let go and let yourself, first of all, center yourself, let go, and let yourself be on the path where you're supposed to be, to give yourself the rest and allow yourself to have that rest, leading you up to the work that you are meant to do. Does that make sense? You are losing, but you are also gaining a lot. Whatever it was that you had lost was probably something that was meant for you to lose, to get you to the point to have more. And for a lot of us healers and light workers, we have gone through a lot of trauma to get us to this point of doing such service. And doing yourself service as well at the same time, because it is also healing you. As a tarot reader, and I do also consider myself as a healer, I've come to really know that the service that I'm doing is also healing me at the same time. Every reading I get, every messages and downloads that I get, and every reading I post has helped me tremendously. How much our body, our physical body, and our mental can correct itself. Isn't it so freaking amazing? How much of our body is correcting itself. I accept that everything happens in divine order. I love that. Patience. Main factor in our healing journey is being patient with ourselves. And that's hard sometimes, because in healing, do we feel a lot of anger? In healing, do we feel a lot of rage? We are, I suppose, also feeling the world's condition. If you are an empath, you know what that feels like. If you are a hypersensitive, super hypersensitive person, you know what that feels like. And this is hard sometimes for us as well, to keep ourselves centered when the world's condition is such and such and such. Right? I do believe that our healers and our light workers, you were chosen to do such work because something happened to you in your childhood and your past that had motivated you and pushed you to do such work. For some of us, we were chosen to do such work. You were saved. And you said, I choose to do such work because I too would like to be saved. I don't want to stay insignificant for the rest of my life. And if I have to do such work, so be it, because it means it's got purpose, it's got meaning. Let me do that work. How much of us healers and light workers also has gotten to know our true essence in doing so. There's a lot of rewards that come with that, but a lot too where you have to feel a lot of the darkness and see a lot of the darkness. I mean, it is to be expected, right? High Priestess. You are in the center of it all, and are you, while you are in the center, what was that? While you are in the center of it all, in the center of your awareness, yes, you're going to see the darkness just as much as you're going to see the light that is the purpose And the whole purpose of being a light worker is that you are going to see the darkness. That is a curse, is a choice. Perhaps you went into this service, you went into this kind of work because you know exactly what the dark is like. You know what it looks like, you know what it feels like, you've lived in it. You were immersed in it. Perhaps this is why you were chosen to do such work, because you know exactly what the darkness feels like and looks like. But it is also not for the weak. No. Being a healer and being a light worker is not for the weak. This is a work that you're dependent on. It is also to be discerning of where you are with yourself while you are in this kind of work. Okay. It is not an easy task. It is not an easy assignment. This is something that you know you have to also be discerning about with yourself. And a lot of this. And then a lot of times you got to find this within yourself as well. Because we see a lot of the darkness, and the darkness, how much that can also consume us, consuming and having to understand the dark. You got to have a lot of this. Believing in yourself that you are absolutely capable and possible and strong to do such work. And are you doing such work, and have you been doing such work and still dedicated and growing from that, growing, gaining as well. You are useful and purposeful, and you've known yourself to be useful and purposeful. It's just that nobody believed in you. You didn't have anybody around you to believe in you. You didn't even believe in yourself, and all you had was yourself. But even what you had was not enough. So you told yourself, I do not want to be insignificant anymore. I want to be significant. So here you are, taking on this journey. You are a warrior. I am strong, I am capable, I am possible, I am devoted, I am loyalty. I am loyal. I am using the Art of War Oracle deck here. This is what I'm shuffling right now. I am purposeful, I am useful, I am the bread of my life, I am rooted, dedicated, I am limitless, I am me. You have become so true to your work and so true to this path that you're on and taking on this work. Yes, you should be appreciated. I don't think our healers, our tarot readers, and our light workers don't get enough credit for the things that they do. They don't get enough appreciation for the things that they do. I wanted to make this video specifically dedicated to our healers, light workers, tarot readers. It has not been easy, and we need you. Use fire with care and water with impunity. Fire, like anger, is powerful, but unpredictable and can cause lasting damage among the vanquished. Water, which shapes its course according to the nature of the ground over which it flows, soothes the argument and slowly, without destroying your opponent, turns them towards your point of view. While fire can deliver victory, and water delivers increased strength. Sun Tzu said, to see victory only when it is within the ken of the common herd is not the acme of excellence. Funny that that card came up because we are stepping into Aries season, and Aries is a fire element. But how much it makes sense in this reading as well, because water is what is motivating you and has motivated you. The fire in you. But how you are also using your sensitivity, water and fire coming together. Is in fact powerful. You know yourself to be true in the work that you do. The passion that comes with that fire, and staying true to your sensitive that comes with that water. It is passion. It is motivation. An even more purpose-driven life. Water and fire coming together. You are meant to take on such work. Because you were chosen to. Value your friendships. Ooh, that's random. Friendship is not something you hand out to anyone. Sometimes they are only confirmed in dark and troubled times. Friendships can form instantly or grow slowly over time. An act of friendship does not have to be grand and dramatic. It can be a lot of little kindnesses added together. Friendships can take a lifetime to earn, yet be lost in a second to nourish them. Sun Tzu said, if, however, you are indulgent but unable to make your authority felt, kind-hearted but unable to enforce your commands, and incapable, moreover, of quelling disorder, then your soldiers must be likened to spoilt children. They are useless for any practical purpose. I do believe that in the work that you do as a healer, as a tarot reader, as a light worker, as a therapist, as a counselor, work where you are constantly giving life advice, constantly having to use all of your energy to be giving advice to the world, to the rest of us. A real, true, genuine, authentic friendship is needed in your life and is so essential in your life. It is so vital at times to have such friends. And perhaps for some of us, we only have a few who we truly, truly trust in our life, right? Who we value very much in our life, and who also adds value to your life because you deserve it. Deja vu. I literally just got that right now. I feel like that means that I'm on the right path right now. Okay, I felt the need to share that. Very rare do I get deja vus in my reading, so that was interesting. Maybe one. I think I experienced one. I think I might have experienced one. Yeah. But that tells me that I'm on the right path, so that's cool. I'm going to pull up some more tarot cards here before I wrap this up, and then I want to use the Empath's Empowerment deck. This is my comfort card, comfort oracle deck. Ooh, and I also want to use, I'm just going to use all my oracle decks. I also want to use my spirit animal deck. Okay. The number 10, I'm getting the number 10. That could be a number for some of you. The Knight of Wands. Ooh, I'm getting Sagittarius energy here. All right. I'm telling you, it's like I am speaking to some of us who are, you know, you've held on to these qualities ever since you were younger. You have held on even when you came out of your mom's womb, right? You've held on to these qualities. You were meant to do such work, and perhaps at some point you didn't even know that you were going to be a tarot reader. I did not even know I was going to be a tarot reader. I feel like I'm talking to someone here. I know I'm talking to me, but I feel like I'm talking to somebody here. I did not know I was going to be a tarot reader, ever. I did not grow up. My teenage year, I didn't tell myself I'm going to be a tarot reader one day. No, all of that happened and did not start until the pandemic hit. And I started shuffling in the year of 2021. I believe I started shuffling. I got into it. I was drawn to it more like 2020, 2021. And then that's when I started actually reading for other people. This tells me that you've held on to these traits, these leadership role qualities when you were younger. And you might have not even known, for a lot of you, you knew that you were going to be a therapist. For a lot of you, you knew you were going to be a healer at some point, but it didn't actually really hit you until like what? For some of us, till like 2019, 2018, 2019, right before the pandemic hit. Okay, this is a channeled message that I'm getting here. 2019 might have been the year you knew that you were going to take on this leadership role and you were going to continue doing it till now, is what I'm getting. That's amazing that I'm picking that up. But you've held on to these traits, these qualities within yourself, and you hadn't known that you were going to do such work. But you knew it was the work that you were willing to take on. The Two of Cups. Love it. Coming into union with yourself and finding yourself in the work that you absolutely are passionate about. Okay. It has been a mission. It has been a mission, collective. Ooh. I have the Seven of Swords bottom of the deck. Let me tell you, it's like the worst card in the tarot deck. It's like my least favorite card of all. I want to add that this is what is coming up for me. Okay, I'm picking up that while you have had to go through this traumatic, whatever it was that happened to you in your childhood, and whatever it was that led you up to this point in doing this work that you do, whatever happened to you, whoever did this to you, or what led you to do this work. You've earned it. I have the Justice after that. You have earned it. it's like, this was literally in orchestration. I know that I'm talking to myself as well when I speak of this, because I feel this wholeheartedly about myself, you know. When I started doing tarot in 2021, when I started reading for people, I was like, wow, I did not know I had the capability of doing this. But why should I stop? You know what I mean? Like, if I feel good in doing so, and I'm also helping other people and being of service to other people, why stop? The experience that I get from it is like no other. You know, you don't get that kind of love from anything. No, it's you can't even, I can't even find the words, because it is something that you have to experience for yourself. It's work and play coming together. And you're like, this is what I am meant to do. I find myself in my element when I do such work. Rise above earthly matters. I am using the spirit animal deck, my favorite deck of all time. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Giraffe. Visionary. I had recently dreamt about a giraffe. Recently, it's so funny that this card came up. I'm trying to remember what happened in the dream though. But I instantly, like when I woke up, I instantly thought of that, and I thought, ooh, visionary. I'm gonna pull up another one. I guess we can make this an hour video. I appreciate you guys being here. If it was not for you, this channel will not be it, and for what it is, and for what it has been. Ooh, I love it. I have you who glides across the waters of my soul. Bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with the dignity and the spirit of beauty. I have Grace, the swan. I love that. And I suppose as a healer and as a light worker, that is, you know, the energy we have to put ourselves in, to be more understanding of other people, in good and in bad. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you guys in the next. I hope this reading brought light, some meaningful understanding of where you are. We are going into Aries season, right? Yes. I want to add that while you are in this work that you are doing, while you are doing this work, and while you have been dedicating your time and your energy in this, I want to add that you are appreciated and you have not gone unnoticed. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Take care of yourselves. Bye.